This is the plaintiff, Vernell Robinson. She says she helped the defendant out in his time of need by allowing him to use one of her cell phones. And the guy rang up a huge bill and now won't pay. She's given him ample time to pay up, but he's nothing but arrogant and rude. She's had it up to you-know-where and is suing for the $1,811.05 she's owed. This is the defendant, William George. He says he's known the plaintiff for 20 years. They once lived together, and she's simply mad at him for breaking things off. That's right, this lawsuit's nothing more than an attempt to extort money from him because she feels slighted. Oh, her? No way. He's accused of ringing up a lawsuit.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff let the defendant use her cell phone, and he won't pay. And the defendant says it's sour grapes because he broke up with her. It's the case of very bad reception.
Thank you, Douglas. Vernell Robinson, you are suing William George for $1,811.05 that you say he owes you in cell phone bills and information that he won't give you off your hard drive and refuses to pay you. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, I've known Mr. George, as he said, for 20 years. He and I did live together for some time, but we broke up in 93, thereabouts. And we got back together in 95 as friends. As the years drew on, in 2007, he called me because his wife had thrown him out and he had nowhere to go. And
was he married when he was with you?
Well, what happened, ironically, when he was living with me, he went to South America, where he's from, Guyana, and he married this woman while we were together. And so I was bitter, of course, and broke it off.
Oh,
okay.
You'll show him.
Well, listen, he didn't want.
The guy got married. What is it? Broke it off. Of course, he broke it off. He broke it off.
I didn't know that he was going there to get married. In fact, he had.
Well, obviously, you don't marry a stranger. Obviously, this had been going on.
No, she's been in Guyana. I guess he was trying to get her here in America, and he was living with me. I was trying to help him transition in America.
How long were you with him before he went back and married somebody from Guyana?
3 years.
Okay.
3 years. And I was totally unaware of this
Was
person.
he going back and forth to Guyana?
No, it was the first time that he had gone back to his country.
Okay.
And when he came back to America, I found that he was married and I broke it off with him. In 2007, like I said, his wife put him out. And she moved with the landlord and put all his things out on the street.
Karma, karma.
Yeah, okay. And with all his things, he took his personal belongings or what have you. He called me, as I had always helped him in the past, and I instructed him on what to do.
What'd you tell him to do?
He needed to go to court because it was an illegal lockout.
Yeah, but what'd you do for him?
I went to his rescue, as I've always done, and I had taken him some toiletries and different things so that he can have something to wash, and because he was working. And I wanted to, help him out still. And so he moved to Rockaway, where I live, and the apartment that he moved into, that landlord wasn't paying the mortgage and the house foreclosed. And so because he was working, I felt sorry for him, as I've always done. I allowed him to stay with me at that point in time. My daughter had moved out and I had a spare bedroom. And so he went into the spare bedroom.
Did you start dating him again?
Exactly. That's where the mix up, the screw
Okay, and
up.
so now it's what year? 2000 what?
2007.
So you start dating him in 2007 and at some point he needs a cell phone?
Yes. So he needed a phone and I put him on a phone. I gave him a phone.
When?
In that 2007, like I said.
Okay.
And he had been paying the bill. Everything was fine. But he went to Guyana again in 2009. Oh, and while he was there,
I would have a leash on that man that reached only as far as the Guyana border.
The thing about it, he doesn't aspire for much in his life, and I didn't want to be with him like that. So it wasn't really a matter.
So you were no longer dating him?
No, we to be very honest, we had sexual relations when it was necessary.
She's crazy.
That's what that was.
I'm not even going to go there.
Thank you.
I'm just going to leave it go.
Thank you.
So
That's
you're
all
not
it
in
was.
love with him anymore.
No.
He's just a guy living in your house who's supposed to pay you $150 rent who's a friend with benefits.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly.
So he goes to Guyana and what?
He went to Guyana and he took the phone with him, of course. While he was there, he racked up charges.
Talking to who?
Whomever, I didn't care.
Not
but-
you?
No, he spoke to me. He spoke to me on occasion.
Were most of the
His-
charges to you?
No, they're not.
All right,
and
this
I
is
didn't-
in
I
what
didn't
year?
Question. The thing about it,
Listen, this is in what year?
2009.
2009. I'm in 2013.
Yeah.
What's happened over the course of the last 4 years that you didn't bring this lawsuit?
You know, I wasn't even going to bring it to court. What I was going to do is just pay off my credit because I'm trying to get my life in order financially as well as other areas. And I'm working on those things.
So he's
However,
owed, this is money that he owed you in 2009?
Yes.
Okay. What's your answer on the phone bill?
I pay her the money. I pay her for the time. I was very much surprised that she sued me for phone bill.
How did you pay her?
One time I gave her $600. I paid this woman. She's just ridiculous. You know,
Okay.
I can't understand.
Do you,
know, it was very
do you have a
surprising.
receipt for paying her for this bill?
No, we live together. We live together. And we used to live in the same room.
Stop staring her down. Okay, now what's this for the hard drive? You originally were suing for $300 for the hard drive, and now you're suing for $1,000 for the hard drive. And what's on the hard drive, and what are you talking about?
Okay. That's why we're in court, actually, Your Honor. I have been asking him for the information off the hard drive when I originally gave him the computer a year ago. The hard drive has information from a program that I established in 2005. A lot of that information I need today for this new wellness program that I have in place. I don't want to have to reduplicate all that work. And so I've been pleading with him to give me the information. When I initially gave him the computer, I didn't want to just give it to him, so he gave me $50.
You're suing me a computer.
Stop.
He gave me $50 for the computer
So why didn't you take your stuff off it before you gave it to him?
because I didn't have the wherewithal to do it. And
What
he
does that
said
mean? Wherewithal is a
I didn't-
$10 thumb drive.
Well, that's why he gave me the $50 so I can get ink for a printer that I have for my other computer. He was going to have someone to come look at the computer and get the information off. He was going to
When
get a
did
hard
you sell him the
drive.
computer?
I'm sorry?
When did you sell him the computer?
Last year sometime. You know,
And
he
apparently in this whole year, nothing has come up about the computer.
Yes, I've been asking him for the
Why didn't you just not
I
give it
went-
to him? I don't understand.
That's not-
Because
What do you
when-
expect him to do with information? If you sold me a computer, we didn't know each other. And then a year later, by the way, where's the computer now?
It's in the shop
Why is it in the shop?
because it's not working.
Why is it not working?
Since after the storm,
Which storm?
Sandy's,
How did it get
computer-
damaged in Hurricane Sandy?
I have no idea.
Did it get wet?
No, it didn't get wet. But like maybe by the current, you know.
Okay.
The computer never work again.
Okay.
I
All right.
call her.
Is this information? So the computer, did it get fixed? You say it's at the shop. Did it get fixed?
No, it did not. I call her.
Why not?
Well, I went to the shop and the guy checked the computer out and he told me that he can't fix it.
Why don't you just give her back the computer? Because then the hard drive has what it has.
No,
and she
well,
can
I
extract
asked,
it.
well, I don't want it because it's garbage. I don't.
I know. So why don't you
need
give it back to her?
I take her to the shop there. You know, I take her there.
Are you saying you
it's-
took her there?
Yeah.
I take her to the shop there several times.
Yeah.
He took you to the shop?
I tried to get the information for her. I tried my best.
He took you to
You
the
know,
shop?
she's just ridiculous.
Your Honor, I went to the computer repair shop to speak with the owner because when I asked to get the information off the hard drive, at this point in time, I was very capable of extracting it, paying the $35. However, when I went the second time to the shop to get it, the man couldn't find the computer.
Why do you have to go 2 times to the shop?
Because he couldn't find it. He lost the invoice or what have you, and I had to pay $10.
Do you people have children? Because I'm very
that
worried
would
if you
never-
have children.
No, listen.
Okay. I don't
No.
mean together. I mean at all.
No.
Okay.
Oh, I do. My children are well established.
Okay.
In any case,
Why did you wait 4 years to sue him? You say that's why
Again,
we're really
it's
here because of the whole
because right now-
computer thing. Because now all of a sudden,
Exactly.
4 years later, I need. if he really ripped you off of the money on the cell phone bill, why wouldn't you sue him right away on the money for the cell phone bill?
You know, because I wanted to be,
because his defense, he's got a defense. His defense is, are you kidding me? This is 4 years ago. She hasn't said boo about it now. She's just saying this because she's mad she can't get this old information off of a computer she sold me a year ago. Why shouldn't I believe him that he paid you? Because you guys were together at the time. Why shouldn't I believe him that he paid you when you yourself admit to me that the only reason you're in court is because now you're trying to get that information, you can't get it?
Because of his arrogance, Your Honor.
Yeah, right.
So what's the problem with letting a boyfriend or a girlfriend either use your cell phone or even worse, when you buy them a cell phone? What's the problem?
Well, you have to pay for their bills, and then also if they're always on their
Well, no, but they're saying, oh, no, I'll pay my bill. Don't worry about it. I'll pay my bill.
if they're on the phone all the time, they're not paying attention to you.
But I'll pay my bill. I promise. Just give me a phone.
They might overuse the minutes.
Well, they might overuse the minutes, but I'll say, oh, well, I'll pay the bill. I'll pay the bill.
Name's on the bill.
Your name's in the bill.
Oh, I'm going to get you a phone.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Going inside the courtroom.
The work that I do is overwhelming. I work with the city of New York, and then I leave work to come home to work to help my community. The work that's on that computer, and I have some of it here as well.
So why are you so incompetent that you didn't take it off before you sold it?
I have floppy disks, but you can no longer use them. They have to be translated or what have you. That's how old we're talking. The problem is when I've been asking him for this information, like I said, he was so rude. I went on his birthday because he wanted sex, and I told him that was over. I didn't want to go there anymore with him, and he wanted to offer money. He wanted to do this. I said, no, just give me the information off the hard drive the way you said you would. Okay? And because he said, well, you take me to court, you do what you have to do, on his birthday, when he wanted me to get with him, I went to court instead, and I filed papers just to let him know.
Says I love you like a lawsuit.
Right, no, but I don't want to be bothered. I'm trying to tell him I don't want to be bothered.
All right, folks, I think I got it. Now let me explain to you how this works, okay? You are bringing up a bill from 4 years ago. You are within the statute of limitations, but you run certain risks when you don't pursue something soon. The biggest risk is exactly what is happening to you, which is a guy looks at me and says, you got to be kidding me. We were dating then. I paid her cash then, and she's never brought this up until now. She's only bringing it up because she's mad about something else. Please don't talk. She's only bringing it up because she's mad about something else. And then it turns out you are mad about something else. You are now trying to start another organization. You want the info from your old organization from a computer that you sold to him. And your reason for why he's responsible to pay you $1,000 on a computer he paid $50 for, that you were too uninitiated, uninformed, untrained to get it off the computer before you gave it to him.
Right.
You know, that's your fault that that stuff happens. You sold the computer. You sold the computer years ago. It's 3 years later.
No, last year.
Stop talking. And you expect him to be responsible for finding it after it's now lost in it's actually lost at this computer repair place.
That's
because
what
you
he's
can't
saying.
find the little piece of paper.
That's what the man is saying. But the man is
whatever
trying
it
to
is,
get
it
over.
is. But I'm not going to make him pay you $1,000 because you sold him a computer and didn't bother to take info off of it beforehand. That's crazy. And I'm also not going to make him pay this phone bill. I'll tell you why. Not because, it's not possible that he owes it, but because you can't prove that you're not acting like someone who is owed that money when you let 4 years pass. It looks like he might have paid you cash, and you're mad at his arrogant attitude where he thinks he's going to get sex from you on his birthday. And so instead, this is how all this stuff happens. You're just not in a position to prove your case. And not having proved your case to me, my verdict is for the defendant. That's my judgment.
And so with that, the plaintiff comes out here unable to prove her case.
I really didn't get a chance to prove the case. I was trying to remain calm because I didn't want to appear arrogant and loud the way that I feel inside. You know what I'm saying? Because I am very upset. I was being nice. I've always tried to look out for him.
Something about him really upsets you?
Yes,
what is it?
Because of his arrogance. Like I said, he assumes that it's okay,
Listen, you two got along pretty well for a long time. What did you like about him?
Because I've always been helping him. I've always been there. The reason why I gave him the computer is because he needed the computer to keep his job.
All those other things you were doing for him too, all the benefit, all that was just to help him?
No, it was to help me. He did give me money. And what I didn't say to her that I'm really upset about is that, yes, he gave me money, but it wasn't for the phone. He gave me money for if I needed money to get my hair done, if I needed money for this. He never gave me $600. Never. And the fact that he didn't even, what proof did he have to show? You know?
Follow Officer McIntosh. Well, he was being sued, so
Thank you.
he didn't have to prove anything. You did.
Yeah, well, you just see it as how it is. You hear? I paid their phone bill. You hear? This woman, you know, it was very much surprising that she sued me for phone bill. Very much surprising, you know.
This shocks you. This comes out of left field at you. I mean, you saw the relationship between the two of you cooling off a little bit.
Yeah,
You saw it cool
well,
off.
it's like cooling it off. It's not she. She's crazy for me.
What cooled it off?
Huh?
What cooled this relationship down? What ended
No,
this
because of
relationship?
her, she's so, you know, she's so ignorant.
Okay.
You know.
Harvey?
Well, here's the problem. It's a very simple principle. When you sit in your hands, she waited 4 years in this case. That is too long. It's actually, there's a legal term for it. It's called latches. What it means is you lose. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.